The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody. I know it's a few minutes early, but I thought I'm just sitting here waiting. Figure I might as well push the start button. Welcome to the Ask Stuart Hour. You early birds, you guys are rock and rollers. Oh, we got a lot of people coming on. That's very cool. Hey, you know what I always ask at the start? So I know you can hear me and potentially see me. And I know we're early, so if you're getting your coffee and if you're not ready yet, that's okay. I got you by 2 minutes. Just type anything in the box so I know that you can hear me and see me. Who will be the first to type something in? I don't know, but I will drink my coffee. Hey, there's Patty. All right. Hey, Patty. I am doing well. Thank you. Very well. And I hope the very same for you. Lori, you hear me? That's cool. But I don't think you're able to see me today, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just an audio for you. So that's cool. Thank you so much. Oh, you do see me too. Good. Good. You don't have to look at me, certainly, but I'm here. What can I say? So cheers. My Nashville cup. So, we've got about a minute to go. Everyone's still coming in. I've got a long question sent in from our one of our newer boot campers, Mike. He's a Cruise One agency, and he sent a great question, and I'm going to share it and get everybody's feedback too. And there's Jean-Ann. Hey, hi Jean-Ann. Oh, and the audio and the visuals are matching today. That's a good thing. That's really good. I'm happy to hear that. Very happy. So all we have to do, folks, is just hope that we don't get the thunderstorm. You see, here in Memphis, what's really strange is we can go weeks without any rain. But when it rains, the heavens just open up. It's pure insanity. And so it just keeps threatening. And my garden really needs it. But it may not happen. And that's okay. I'd rather it happen when we're done, because whenever we have a big thunderstorm come through, guess what happens? The electricity goes out. And that would really stink if it happened during any of the webinars that I'm doing or you're doing. All right, let's see who else is in the house here, because we're going to get started. It's the top of the hour. All right, we got about half the people checked in. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, I want you to know, I really hope somebody is going to be bold enough, brave enough, courageous enough to put on your microphone to request it. Because I can't do it automatically. I don't think. I think I can. But I won't automatically open up your microphones, because then what if the dog is barking? What if you're actually on the phone talking to somebody or listening to loud rock and roll music? I would never do that. So throughout the broadcast, if you've got a question you want to use your microphone for, then I think you click on it that you request to be unmuted, and I will unmute you. It's cool. So let's have an official welcome. First, a cup of coffee. We have a flood of people coming in now. Hundreds. I'm kidding. It's not hundreds. That would be overwhelming. So one moment here. And let me pour a little bit more. You guys know by now that I really relish and enjoy my coffee. At max, I have 2 cups a day, but those cups must be fantastic. It's usually 1 cup, and it's always an organic French press. All right, welcome. This is Stuart. I am recording this, I hope. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This will be an audio-only recording. So if you wanted to come back and watch this later, you'll have to look at a still picture of me and make believe that I'm talking. Sorry, it just GoToWebinar doesn't record the video portion of it, and it just forget about it, because it gets complex. But here we go. A couple of quick announcements while you all think of questions, challenges. I want to know what keeps you up at night. I'd like to hear about your experiences in boot camp. I'd like to know what you're on the verge of trying or what you're afraid of trying. I'd like to know if since the last time we talked you had a profound failure. I'd like to know, since the last time we've talked, if you've had a profound success. I'd like to know if you have a great idea and you want to bounce it off me and bounce it off everybody on the line. I want to make this interactive, integrative, intuitive, and enter training. See, part entertaining and part training, because the entertaining part keeps you glued here. So we keep it moving along. All right, we're 3 minutes in, and I see we've got Will here, Patty and Michael, Lori, Carl, Jean Ann, Janet, oh, 2 Janets in, and Clavia. So this is very cool, and I know we've got about 10 more coming in. Very cool. So I'm going to check the boards here. Oh, and Jean Ann, very cute. Get a generator. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? The only thing I invested in, Jean Ann, thus far is a whole house a fuse, circuit breaker, because we had a huge storm come through a couple of years ago, and we had a lightning strike that was very close. And guess what? It blew out the dishwasher, blew out a TV, it blew out several devices. That was very costly. So for an investment of around $200-ish, I had the electricians come the next day and put a whole house circuit breaker. So should there be that kind of a power surge, but a generator, I don't know. You know what, Gina, if I was doing these puppies every day, maybe, but I'm not doing them every day, so I'm not. All right. So hello and welcome, everybody. I know folks are still coming in. A couple of quick announcements, which I will repeat later for those who come a little bit late. The next Ask Stuart Hour is going to be, and I'm not going to change it. So sorry about this time. I am so dreadfully sorry. But here's what happened. We had 6 people signed up for tomorrow. Now we have 20 signed up for today. Okay. But I'm really sorry for the inconvenience of those 6. I really am. I messed up. I'm going to be in a car driving 8 hours halfway to Minnesota and the other half on Friday. Not looking forward to it, but we're going to make it a good time. The next one is August 17. I'd like to know Monday what time, if you guys like them early, if you guys like them late, let me know. If you have a preference, go ahead and type it in, because I haven't set the time yet. I am almost finished working on some brand new modules for a group boot camp that you're going to love. And they're going to be included for the same price of admission. It's actually called my group launch sequence. Remember, so many times I tell you I'm working on modules about the launch. How do you launch a group, okay? And basically what drives me crazy is that you have a great idea, a great group leader. Everything is perfect. The product is perfect. The place, the product, three of the 4 P's are perfect except the promotion, okay? And that's where things go terribly wrong. I call that a group that bombs. Yeah, everything is perfect. Everything is great. You open it up for sale, and you know, crickets. We hear crickets. What happened? What went wrong? Well, I'm here to fix that. I'm here to put an end to groups that bomb. Yes, your fearless group leader is going to put an end to groups that bomb. I just wrote an article for Agent and Home magazine. It's going to come out later this month. And I actually completed 2 of the modules so far. So we're not far off, and I will let you know when they're in there, but I can't wait to share this with you. It's a phenomenal way to launch a group. It's called Group Launch Sequence. So I want to tell you about that. I am officially confirmed to be speaking at Cruise World. Is anybody going to Cruise World? I'm doing 2 group seminars. I'm officially speaking at the Cruise One Cruises Inc. conference in November on board the Norwegian Escape. I'm officially speaking, but it hasn't been announced yet, so don't tell anybody, at the Palace Resorts Convention. This will be my a twofer I did last year too, which was great fun. And I'm officially speaking as a keynoter as well at the Results Travel a national conference, which is in Las Vegas in September. So good stuff happening. Just want to let you guys know if you happen to be going. I'd love to see you there. And if I'm not speaking at your conference, let me know. So here we go. We are going to, okay, wait, let me just read the question board. Then I'm going to start with the question that was sent in first. Patty says, preach it because mine just bombed. Oh, geez. Okay, the group launch sequence. Preach it because mine just bombed. All right, Patty. I'm telling you, it can't come too soon, but I promise you. And if we want during this call, we can talk about it. But the modules are going to be really fantastic because they're really comprehensive. Sharon's on. She goes, hi, Stuart. Hi, Sharon. You said hi, Mike. Mike's not here. Where's Mike? There is no Mike here. You talking Mike Marshev? He's not on this one. So here's the thing. So I got to have Mike here because I love Mike, but he's not here today. No, he's doing the webinar on the 12th. We're doing that. By the way, if you haven't signed up yet, we're doing part 2 of a TRO webinar. It was called How to Source More River Cruise Business. Groups, and that's on the 12th. Oh, Patty is coming to Cruise World. Awesome, and you're coming to both of my classes. Thank you very much. And Janet wants to know if I'm coming to the Signature Conference in November. No, I'm not, and I'm very sad because I would love to speak at Signature. I would love to. I've sent love messages and boxes of candies to Gina, and they just haven't hired me yet. They don't know the amazing things I can do for the members of Signature Travel. So Janet, I'm counting on you just to throw my name. Go up to Gina or go up to Alex and say, hey, I'm an FOS. And they're going to say, what the heck's an FOS? And you're going to say, I'm a friend of Stu. You need to have Stu here at our conference. Dial me up on the cell phone, hand the phone to them and say, Stuart, get your butt over here. Right now, we need you on stage. And I'll be there. So thank you. But I've never done any work with Signature. I've done with almost every other organization. So it would be very cool to get in there. Okay, so here we go. Sharon said that's what you signed up for today. Yes, there are too many webinars, but I will be back with Mike Marshev as he's running the show. I'm his guest. So here's question number 1. And remember, if you have questions or answers, anything you want to send, type it in now. I'm going to check the question board. This is a great one, and it has to do with groups and vineyards and river cruises. This seems to be a really popular topic, and Mike is from Mr. Dreams Vacations, and basically. He says he's working to partner with a local vineyard to present cruise nights, targeting vineyards, their customer base for river cruises. Okay, so he's looking to do it not only for an affinity group, but also for individual guests as well. And he's been treading lightly by attending various events at the vineyard and building a relationship with the owner. He feels the time is right to approach him about partnering. So you see what's happening now? Mike, you're doing a great thing here, and I think everybody will agree that you're going to the events. You're not just knocking on the door saying you want to sell something. You're making friends. You're attending the events. You're a customer too. You're a loyal customer, so you get to know their products. You get to know their business, because if you're coming cold off the street and you're not already a loyal customer of theirs, they're going to say, well, how come you're not buying you don't know anything about what I'm doing here. So that's awesome. Let that be a lesson for all of us. It's so much easier to do business with somebody if you're already giving them your business, right? Just like when somebody approaches you to do business with you, wouldn't it be great if they bought travel through you too? Wouldn't you be so much more inclined, right? Okay, so here's the question, everybody. Okay. He understands what he gets. He would get access to a great customer list of highly qualified wine drinkers, but what's in it for him? What's in it for the vineyard owner? The benefits for him. So he says here, I may just get one shot at this guy, and I want to make it a great one. Now, I think by now, and Mike is new to boot camp, you probably know what my answer is to this. Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to take a guess about what my recommendation would be here? My recommendation is, in terms of what's in it for him, ask him. Ask him what he wants. Set up the meeting and shoot the breeze. Say, listen, I've been to so many of your events. His guy's name is Taylor at the Vineyard. It's wonderful. You do a great job. I'm among your loyal customers here, Taylor. And you've got great people. I've made so many friends. So what do you do for loyalty? How do you keep me and others coming back? Are you looking to grow your customer base? Are you looking to build loyalty, Taylor? What keeps you awake at night, Taylor? Taylor, what keeps you awake at night? What's your problem? What problems do you have? We're both local business owners, Taylor. What are your problems? I'll tell you my problems as a travel professional. I've got amazing opportunities, particularly in river cruising. I'm an expert, and I want to get more people there because they need to experience this now. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. It's an amazing trip. That's my problem. I got to fill beds. I want to show people a good time. What's your problem, Taylor? Oh, you want loyalty. You want to increase your mailing list. You want to sell more wine. You want to bring more people in. So what's your problem? Okay, and then what you do, Mike, and everybody else, is that's how you come in with a solution. When he says he's got a problem, and it's about building sales, it's about being customer loyalty, it's about engaging more with his clients, then you say, let's go away together. Let's go have a good time together. Okay. Number 2, and I'm going to check here, see if anybody else typed in. Nope, nobody else typed in. Number 2, he says if we do a traditional affinity group, there would be a TC, a tour conductor. Most people suggest that I throw the TC at the vintner as the prime inducement. So you give them the free TC. And this is what he writes. Now listen, he says, this seems contrary to Stuart's advice, that's me. And you know that in boot camp I say, don't be so quick to give away that TC. Don't even talk about it. Don't even brag about it. Don't even shout from the rooftops. Bring your group to me and be a group leader and travel free. Travel free. Okay? So he wants to know what has worked and flopped for others. So while I'm speaking, would you please write in here if giving away the TC works or doesn't work, or does it cause trouble? Does it cause trouble? Because first of all, anybody you go to who's not in the travel industry is not going to know what the heck a TC is, right? You know that. They're not going to know what a TC is, so don't even use those words. That may sound obvious, but we get so caught up in the lingo. Sometimes we say amenity points or gap points. They're like, huh? And if we say TC, they're like, huh? And here's what happened. If they know what a TC is and they know what gap amenity points is, shame on the travel agent that told them, because they know too much. They're not supposed to know. They're not supposed to know what you keep in your back pocket to leverage, to help make the sale, to help add value to the product. They're never supposed to know that stuff. You hold it close to the vest, man. So I stand by what I say. You know, don't go throwing free TCs around, because also, you know this, everybody, they're not free, for crying out loud. They cost you a lot of money. So once you say free, that's open mouth insert foot. It's going to cost you a fortune for that free TC, right? You all know this, okay? So what do you guys do? Okay, now if Taylor comes back, right? If this potential group leader comes back and says, hey, you know what? I'll do this. I want to rock and roll. This is be great, but can you comp me my cabin? Can you comp me my room? Can you hook me up? And then you're going to say, okay, let me see if I can work that out. Let me see what I can do. And you're not going to make any promises, because you got to go back, folks. You got to crunch the numbers. You got to look what the TC levels are. You got to see what's included and not included, including gratuities and all the extras that you know. So you have to be clear what will be and won't be included. And then you go back and sit down and say, I got great news. Yes, we can do it free, but I can't just give it to you. If you do a little, I'll do a little. You do a lot, I'll do a lot. So if you sell this much, if we together, I'm not going to leave you standing out on your own, Taylor. I'm going to be here helping you do it. I know how it works. I know how to launch, because I taught Stuart's group launch sequence at boot camp. So let me see if anybody made any comments on TCs. Nobody made any comments on TCs. And nobody's asked to have their microphone unmuted yet. Oh my goodness. Come on, where are the brave souls? Not one person, none of you have made a comment about TCs. Do you blatantly disagree with me? Do you think TCs are the golden ticket? Or do you agree with me that you should keep it tight until the group leader says that's what I want? And then work it out so you make sure you get it covered, and tell them what you will and will not pay for. And if they have a stretch goal, then they can get the gratuities and the taxes and everything else paid for. Okay. So I'll wait for you guys to type in stuff in. Get ready with more questions, because I want to jump through this and get right back to your questions. So he mentioned some things that he can do, because he wants to use they have a special room that he wants to be able to use to do the programs, which I think is great, because and you asked the vendor this, you know, and this could be for any store, folks, a restaurant, any store you approach. You know, do you like this daily incremental business? If we did a Tuesday program in the back room, some of these restaurants have private rooms they don't use on a Monday night. Would you like me to bring in people and give me a fixed course menu for $20 a head? And we'll talk about river cruising, for crying out loud, which will help build individual business and perhaps build a group, launch a group too. So he wants to know if he did things, if he does a cruise night in partnership with Taylor at the vineyard, do you charge a fee? You know, how does that work for this kind of an event? I don't know. That's a good question. You got to talk to Taylor. You know, it might be that the vineyard owner says, you know, if it's part of a group promotion, maybe they'll comp it. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll say, look, let's do a fixed price, $10. We'll serve some light hors d'oeuvres, and we'll serve a little bit of wine. Or for an additional 10, they get a bottle of wine or a couple of glass of wine, something like that. Maybe we'll do a little wine tasting. A little wine tasting. How lovely would that be? So I don't know if you charge a fee. You know, and then maybe, if they buy a bottle of wine, or if they book, they get the money back. But sometimes you do need to charge a fee, so you keep out the people who are just going, like I do. You go to Costco and you walk around all day Saturday and you eat everything. And I'm full. I've had 3 meals by the time I finish walking around and eat the freebies at Costco. Who does that? Do any of you do that? Be honest. I don't really eat everything, no. On occasion, they have some good stuff there. Okay, so let me check the board here. Nancy says, don't give it away about the TC. Thank you, Nancy, for tuning in here. Nancy says, maybe if they get 10 to 5 cabin leads, then they get a discount. I'm liking that too. So listen, everybody. What Nancy just said is critical. You can actually do it in increments. You can say, look, if we get 10 staterooms signed up and paid, you got 50% of it paid for. If we, so do in increments. That's okay. And if you need my help with that, or use the Excel spreadsheet I set up for you, you can do that. Jean Ann says, keep it tight. Not everybody expects TCs. They may want something different. Thank you, Jean Ann. Exactly. Especially if it's an organization, if it's a company, and their business is going to pay for it. They don't give a hoot. If I had a beep, if I had one of those beepers, if I was to terribly use an expletive, but I don't have a beeper, sorry. This is a family show. So I won't. But what if you're going to give them something they don't want? If you tell me you're going to give me an all-you-can-eat spaghetti and meatballs dinner, free, I'm going to say you could take it and stick it, because I can't eat meat. I can't digest meat. Gina knows this. And white pasta. I don't eat white pasta. Whole wheat pasta, I'll do. I'm okay. I'm fine with glutens. Glutens and I get along just fine. Meat and I, we don't get along fine. You can laugh if you want, but it's true. We all have certain things that we just can't eat. So giving me an all-you-can-eat spaghetti meatballs dinner ain't gonna work for me. So if they don't get over the TC if you don't even know what they need. Carl says, I usually try to tie the TCs into an incentive for how many cabins they book or the group books. Then I create a tiered bonus system from there based on other sales achievement levels. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Carl, you got it. Nancy, you're on it. Jean Ann, you're on it right there. Love it. Janet says she's thinking about doing a Holy Land trip and offering it to her church. She says, I really think I should offer the TC to the pastor. Don't you? Ask. I do too. But ask and check. Because honest to goodness, because if the pastor gets a certain amount of money towards travel, then you don't need to give it away free. It's already built in. And you could use that money you can actually keep selling it and keep that TC and use it as a fundraiser, make a charitable donation to the church. Use it to build in some of the tours of the Holy Land. So, Janet, it's really not a definite thing to automatically assume it. Now, I know whether it's a pastor or the president of an organization, you want to do nice things. You want to do good things, which is beautiful. But like I'm saying, they may already get it paid for. It may not be an issue. And remember, for every additional, we're talking cruises now, cabin you get paid for, puts you further towards the TC. So if you right away say that they're going to get the TC, the TC isn't a cabin. The TC is a financial thing. It's a monetary thing, right? So you got to be careful. You're better off getting money in for every single cabin, every cabin. And then when you earn that tour credit, they give you a credit back when you go to pay the fine on. Am I right or am I wrong here? All right, I hope that helped. Jean Ann says it's part of a group. The cruise line's DSM will usually co-op. Absolutely. So we're getting back here to this. If you're doing an event at a vineyard, I got to believe if it's the river cruise, they're real hungry out there. And you all know this, that if you put together a nice program, and if I'm your DSM and I say, I like this. There's an opportunity for business here. You need how much money from me and what's our goal to produce and work and create? I'll give you the cash for it. I'll do it 50-50, but you all know that the more you produce, the 50-50 can be 75-25, 75 in your favor. You all know that. I hope you do. And sometimes it's 100% if you're a really great producer. They want your business. Your success is their success. So thank you. So, getting back to Mike's question here, which is really great because it's generating a lot of responses, and I am grateful for that. But nobody's turned the microphone on. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. You all have beautiful voices. I'm here to tell you, gorgeous voices. I want to hear somebody. Hold on. Mm. So then he goes on saying, what about prizes or drawings and tchotchkes, basically, like T-shirts and hats and glasses. He wants to supplement it with some swag from the cruise vendors. And he also asked here, should he have multiple vendors? So what do you guys think about that? Should you have multiple vendors there? Then it's almost like a show. You're putting on a whole travel showcase of show. My personal humble opinion is unless you have hundreds of people coming, then it should be one. It should be one. Especially, you should definitely not have competing, especially river cruises. You don't want them to be together. Now maybe if you think that if you have multiple suppliers there, you're going to get more people show up. Well, maybe yes, maybe no. I think if it's a great opportunity, they're going to come whether, they're not coming there specifically to learn about a cruise line. They're coming there specifically to learn about something that they need to know. Okay, I'm in the process of putting together my marketing plan I'm doing a partial charter of a river cruise April 2017 for friends and family of Stuart, and I've partnered with a professional blogger too, so we have dual marketing. And there's a reason why everybody wants to travel with me. I've got to make sure that's there. And first, before I start selling it, the cruise and the company I'm doing it with, I got to sell river cruising. People don't even know what a river cruise is. They have no clue. No clue. We got to start there. Okay. Then he's saying, so the tchotchkes and stuff is nice. It's cute. I don't know. What do you guys think about tchotchkes? They're good. They're wonderful. But nobody's going to come out just to get the free T-shirt. That just doesn't happen. It's a surprise gift. It's a surprise gift. Because if you say, come, you're going to get a free glass of wine, a free appetizer, a free wine glass, a free glasses, and guess what you're going to get? You're going to get 200 people. The same 200 people who go to Costco on Saturday and walk around eating all the food and don't buy anything. Now, in all fairness, when I go to Costco, I spend a lot of money. Hundreds of dollars. Thank goodness I only go once a month. But my point is, that's not going to get somebody to come. You want somebody to come because they want to hear what you're going to give them. You're going to give them information that they need to know, that they want to know, that they're craving to know. And they're going to clear their calendar to come have a date night, perhaps with their spouse, to go there and have a wonderful evening to learn. Because they don't know how to do a river cruise. What is a river cruise? It's, how do they fit the oasis of the seas on the Danube? Or some people might say Danube. It's not the Danube. Okay, gift bags of more swag. That's kind of stuff. The vineyard may already have that stuff. It's nice to give out, especially when you're doing the group. That's when you fill it with goodies and you give it out to people. These things, T-shirts and stuff. He gives some great ideas here. He's looking to perhaps pay for the wine. Listen, Mike, if you want to pay for the wine that's going to be distributed at that event, Taylor, who's the vineyard, I'm sure he'll give you a wholesale cost. You're throwing a party. He does catering all the time. So you got to watch between doing a partnership, everybody, and suddenly just being a client. If you're just a client and you're going to go to a vineyard, say, listen, I want a catered event for 30 people. You're going to pay for a catered event. It's different if you're partners. If Taylor has skin in the game because Taylor wants to build his list, Taylor wants to potentially do a group too, and he wants to travel free because he asked for that, well, then you partner. And I would hope you split the cost at the very least of the complimentary wine that you're going to give out. And then the final point here is about a creation of some kind of a club. And this is more for, it can lead to groups for more FIT business, that if he was to make a deal, he goes and he does 6 presentations a year at the vineyard. And he wants to use the vineyard's tasting rooms and stuff. And so he's asking here, is it single vendor? Is it multiple vendor? What do you guys think? And I'm going to check the question board here, and then we're going to move on to your questions and your comments. But in my humble opinion, I don't know. Having multiple, especially he lists here multiple river cruises, I think is a mistake because all they're going to do is outsell each other. And unfortunately, some of these DSMs, and I love them to pieces, I do, but some of them don't talk about the benefits. They just talk about features. Well, my stateroom was bigger than yours. Well, what the heck is that to me? What does an extra 2 inches do for me on a river cruise? It does nothing for me. Big deal. I think you're better off having one and make it devoted to them. That vendor or supplier will love it a lot more. It will help you be focused on the mission. What's the mission? What's the goal? What's the goal? And you know what I'm saying. The goal here is not to make a sale unless it's in your group launch secrets. It's time to take deposits. Okay. But your mission, my friends, is to build your list. Your mission in life as a travel professional is not to make a sale. Is to build your list first. Because once you build your list, then you can worry about making the sale. Get them on your list. They've got to love you first. They've got to believe in you, trust you, follow you, and may perhaps even be sold on the concept of doing business with a travel professional. They may have been burned before. I've had a travel agent who was never loyal to them, so they've given up. You've got to convert them back to you. All right, let's check the boards here. Nancy says, I have a safari I'm getting ready to launch. One of my old travel agent friends wants me to help fill the group, but I don't know what to offer her. Do I give her 10% commission if I'm making, say, 15? So basically, she's getting ready to launch a safari, and it's an old travel agent friend wants to help fill the group. I'm sure all of you have had experiences with this. If you have anything you want to add, go ahead and type it in. But, I got to tell you, Nancy, here's the other thing. What's the agent looking for? Have you just asked, what do you need? What can I do for you? Because obviously, Nancy, what you want to do is if you have a travel agent who wants to help you fill a group, there's got to be something in it for them. If they just say, oh, sure, I'll help, you know what you're going to get? Nothing. I mean, people don't work for free, I don't think. But Nancy, I would ask your friend. Say, hey, we're friends. You know how the game works. You're a travel agent. What do you need? What's going to make you happy? I want your business. I would love for you to help me out here and supply business and work together on this. What do you need? And if it's unreasonable, say you negotiate. If it's reasonable, you say wonderful, and you go back to your paper and you say, I'll tell you what, I'll give you exactly what you asked for. And you know what else? You say to your friend, and you say, look, if you sell this much, if you squeak it up a bit, I'll give you this much. Throw them a bone. Ask. Patty was saying that she does exactly what Carl does, which is that incentive to get the free travel or the get putting into place tiers. Carl says single vendor unless it's a large group event. I totally agree with you. I know agencies, a handful, not many, who do sort of an annual show, a cruise show or a travel show. It's a big deal. Everybody wants to do it, and almost all of them fail because it's a really big deal to get the people to come out. The agencies I know who still do these things today have been doing them for years, and they built up a huge following. People look forward to it, and they actually take bookings there. It's very, very, very difficult to do. I'm not saying you shouldn't try it, but to get all the vendors committed, and if for every vendor supplier you have there, you have to deliver enough people to keep them busy. Because if you have 6 different suppliers there, and they're going to give up their Saturday or Sunday to be there for a few hours, and they're standing there picking their noses, they're not going to be happy with you. They're not going to come again. They're not going to give you money for the next time. They're going to be very disappointed. So, for every one supplier you have, if it's a 2-hour event, let's say, what should you have? 30, 40, 50 people? So they have an opportunity, because not everybody's going to talk to them. So for every additional supplier you have to have incrementally more. So I don't know. We're here to talk about groups. I don't think having multiple vendors is the way to go, especially to promote groups. And if our agencies back in the day used to do it just because it was a money-making thing, because they would make more money in the co-op. I don't believe in that kind of stuff either. But that's my 2 cents there. Let me see who else is posted. Oh, okay, we're ready for new questions. Hello, who's going to ask the next question? Bring it, bring it, bring it. I want to make sure I haven't missed any here. It is half past, and while you guys are typing in more questions, or requesting for me to turn your microphone on, and I see that we have one question just popped in. That's cool. I just want to tell you, for those who signed in late, the next Ask Stuart Hour, and by the way, I'm terribly, terribly, terribly sorry. I had to reschedule at the last minute. I know I made some of you very unhappy by doing this, and you may not even be here right now. Hope you're listening to this archive version. But I goofed. I'm good for a really big goof. I like to say once a month. Sometimes it's once a week. You can ask my wife. It's just I'm consistently goofy, and I don't like that about me. But I strive for perfection, and if I can get excellence with an occasional goof, I have to say, what can I say? So it's going to be the 17th Monday of August, and I just need to know what time. If you guys want it earlier or later, if you guys don't care, then I'll just set it up for probably perhaps right around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. And watch for announcements of the group launch sequence. I'm going to try to get at least the first couple of modules published here for you for next week, over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so we have Clavia who has typed this question in here. I am considering hosting a ladies' retreat for some of my female clients. This would be a land-based trip. Since I won't have TCs like on a cruise, what kind of value-added amenities can I offer for a land-based trip? This is a great question, and I want to ask everybody in the room, have any of you done a land-based group trip before? And would you like to share some of your experiences of what you've offered in terms of amenities? So one more time, it's a ladies' retreat, which I think is a fantastic niche, by the way, for some of her female clients. This would be a land-based trip, so I assume it's a resort or hotel, more than likely a resort, and won't have TCs like on a cruise. But that's also, let me just say this to you. Nancy, I'll get back to you in just a second. So let me answer this question. If it's a land-based trip, and you could do fantastic groups land-based too, you really can. So I don't want boot camp or this conversation to always be about cruises, although I do think there's a huge opportunity there. And with a cruise, whether it's river cruise or an ocean cruise, so much is already built in: the entertainment, the meals, and so forth. Of course, plenty of extras, but at least, and at a resort, if it's an all-inclusive resort, doesn't that make it easy? Because then the entertainment and the food and the drinks are also included, okay? So here's what I would say to you. Number one, I don't know, Clavia, if you sat down with the hotel yet or the resort yet. So please type in and tell me if you have or have not. And if you know for a fact that there's nothing else, there's no amenities they can give you, okay? Because sometimes they might. Sometimes at the very least, and I don't know if it's all inclusive, sometimes if you guarantee a certain amount of people, they will waive the room rental fee, for instance, if you're going to rent a room. Now, my guess it's an all-inclusive resort, so there may not ever be a room rental fee, but there might be. So you could take that money and you could put it towards something. I really think that if the hotel, if you ask this question of the hotel and they come back and they say, we've got nothing for you, okay, then what you want to make sure is you're getting a net rate. You want to get a net rate so you have the ability to mark it up. So if you're going to have your guests book into the group directly with the resort, okay, of course you could do it, or you know how some resorts work. You can have them call and they can book directly into the group block, which is I would assume would be okay with you. I don't know. Then you need to find out if there's anything they can throw in and give to you. Guaranteed, or on a sliding scale. And if not, or in addition to, net that rate down and see what else you can build in. Because if it's an all-inclusive group and everything's already included, you really got to think about what else you can do. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. Well, how about getting there? Can you provide transfers or some kind of a meet and greet or transfer service at the airport if you're all traveling together? Or, different airports makes it a little complicated. But upon getting there at the airport, if the resort doesn't provide a transfer, can you build that in? Okay. Is there an excursion? Almost all resorts, although they may be all-inclusive, okay, they have an excursion desk, or you can go do other stuff. So, Clavia, I'm not sure where you're going, if this is in Jamaica, or if this is in the U.S., or someplace where there are excursions, and you could find out what people would love to do, okay? And it could be you, so you could include the excursion. Again, get net prices and make sure you're not losing money, you're making money and everything. And they pay one price. And see if the hotel will take an overpayment if you're allowed to book directly with the hotel. See if they'll take an overpayment, and then the extra just comes back to you. Does that make sense? All right. Tell me, everybody, if you agree or disagree. The other thing is that a lot of hotels and resorts, they have a ton of their own internal services, like massages. Maybe you can build in a wonderful spa package. People dig that stuff. Now, it may already be included if you're going to one of these fancy retreat places, okay? But I guarantee there is something. There is something extra special that that resort charges extra for, even if it's all inclusive, right? I hope that helped. I can give you more if you want to keep talking, but I want to check this here. Oh, the safari question, Nancy. Yes, we did answer the safari question, which was I'll give you the short, quick answer here. Basically, I said because you were like, how much should I give the travel agent for helping me fill a safari? And say, why don't make the decision? Let her or him. Say, what do you need? What can I give you for your work for the leads that the and you got to make it clear, is this person going to help you out with leads or going to make the sale? Because if it's a lead, that's fine. You can give a referral fee if they're generating a new lead and you make the sale. By the way, I will never say close. I will never ever say close the sale. Why on earth would you ever want to close the sale? The sale is the beginning. It's an opening. You never want to close the sale. Okay. And then if this agent is making the full sale, making the sale and making the booking, let's say, well, ask what he or she wants. And if it's reasonable, if you can accommodate this and you're still squeaking out money on this, okay, provide a goals. She says, I'll probably send you 5 or 10 staterooms. Say, well, tell you what, if you send me 15, I'll give you a $500 bonus, something like that. So I hope that helps. Patty says, working on one now, a large family reunion to Walt Disney World. I would love some ideas. So here's another land-based group that Patty's working on for Walt Disney World. It's a large family reunion. That if it's a large family reunion, I know that they're all about groups there. Talk to your BDM or DSM, see what other amenities, because there ain't no better company in the world than Walt Disney World for having a million options, in terms of having a private events taking place or dinners all over Walt Disney World, and they just love that stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff that you can do. So it's really the same answer is there. Ask the hotel, what can you do? What more can you do for me? Okay, what can you include if I hit certain goals? What's built into my contract is free that I can leverage. You could say, how badly do you want my business? You can negotiate. But if it's Walt Disney World, I don't know your wiggle room there, Patty. I don't know. Okay, but then, but here's the thing, everybody, listen up. And this goes for you too, Clavia, which is you don't want to build in something that they don't want, that some of them don't want. They'd be like, well, can I have the money back for the difference? You don't want to start doing that. I'm planning my river cruise now, and we want to make sure that what we offer is something that is not going to overlap with what the ship already offers. Because the excursions on the river cruise is free, but they also offer a special upcharge for a special excursion. So you got to make sure you're not taking them away from something else at a time when something else is already provided, and that they all want. And it would be great to define this out beforehand, before Patty or you, Clavia, offer something. Clavia says, not yet. So you have not yet contacted the hotel, but you're looking in Barbados. And I must tell you, everybody, who's been to Barbados? Have any of you online been to Barbados? I have. When I owned the company Resort for a Day, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I started that company. I'm the founder of it. Resort for a Day, I actually did a fam trip to Barbados because we launched BarbadosForAday.com. Okay, I love Barbados. I love it, love it, love it. I love the people. I love the food. I love the topography, the geography. It's really cool. It's like there's like 4 sections, 4 quarters of it, and they have different terrain, and I just really love it. Really, big fan. So good luck there. It's great. And Lori suggested a spa credit, which I had suggested, which is great, right on the money. Thank you. Patty says, wow, 125-person family reunion. That is a big family reunion, Patty. I bet you everybody on the line wants to that kind of group. And by the way, I need to know if you guys, what's resonating for you in boot camp, and what more you need, what more I can provide, what's helping you, what's not helping you. Okay, my mission is to give you a really great product here, and to continue to support your needs. And I want to hear how you're taking this stuff and using it. If it worked, tell me. If it didn't work, tell me. Okay, it's really great to get your feedback. Patty's thanking me for the ideas. You're most welcome. Wow, my goodness, 125 people and growing. That's going to be some wonderful trip. And with that number of people, I hope you can do some negotiating at the resort. I really do. All right, who's next? And who's going to turn the microphone on? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, Jalal is on. Hi, Jalal. Haven't seen you in a while. It's great to have you here with us. Let's see who else joined here. Oh, lots of people joined in. And I think it's the first time for some of you here. So welcome. This is it, the Ask Stuart Hour, where I have no agenda other than to answer your questions and hopefully inspire you towards growing your business. Okay, who's next? Something I want to, while you're thinking of your next question, because I was hoping to be attacked with questions. Every once in a while I do these Ask Stuart Hours with a special guest, a featured guest. I had Mike going. I don't know who was here. I hope you enjoyed having Mike on from Fun Jet Vacations. Before that, I had Christine Karst, who's a good friend, and she's the executive VP and co-owner of Amur Waterways. I've had months ago, I had Keith Lane and Alex Pinello, Norwegian Cruise, a celebrity and Norwegian Cruise Line. So who else? Somebody else had recommended somebody from, I can't remember the name of the company. So sorry. But I'm trying to hunt this particular person down, see if we get them on for it. But if there's somebody else you want in the studio as my special guest, tell me that you want to ask questions of, I'll do my best to get that person here. The other thing is, so I want to keep you all up to speed too on my river cruise launch. Okay, so and what I really want to do, get this, check this out. I was very excited to share this with you. What I'm going to do is share the steps I'm taking to launch my group with you, so you can see how I'm putting this into practice. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn from things that work and things that don't work in this particular case. And I'm going to learn from you as you see it and you make comments and share ideas with me. But I'm going to put into play this group launch sequence, which is the modules that I'm creating for you. So we're about to do what's called the first step, which is the Whisper campaign. The first step in launch, and this is spring 2017, so we got a really big jump because it's a charter. So I'm putting up, now charter is different from a group, folks. You know that. If you ever want to talk charters, let me know. I've done them before, not with my money, with other people's money, but this is my money. It's a partial ship charter. And the Whisper campaign is basically just that. I'm telling friends and family and everybody I know. I haven't posted it on Facebook yet, but I will, so my extended friends and family can see. Basically, it's a Whisper campaign, which is save the date. A Whisper campaign that's save the date. That's how you do it first. A Whisper campaign. And that's all you tell them. Now, I know the prices. I know the itinerary. I know the ship. I know the exact dates. I know the pre-program we're going to do in Zurich and Basel, okay, Lucerne, okay. I know all that stuff, but I'm not going to tell them yet. If you give them too much all up front, you're going to give them the opportunity to say no too quickly. Does that make sense? If you give them too much up front, you'll give them a chance to bow out and never tune in again. So you drip it out. It's called drip content, really. You drip it out. Right? The Whisper campaign is really simple. The Whisper campaign basically says, now, Michael Brown, did you want me to turn your mic on? I see a hand is raised. I don't know. Michael, tell me if you want me to, uh-oh. Did you all lose me? I froze. I'm stuck. Audio back, but not video. See, I have no idea. Thank you for sharing this with me. Tell me if I'm back. Am I back? Hello, hello, because we do have a storm blowing in. It's getting windy out there. Huh? Am I back? All right. Janet says back. Jean Ann says back. I'm back. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Clavia. Okay, both now. Sharon says. By the way, I have to ask you this question, Clavia, because I probably asked you before, but I am the king at making the weekly or monthly goof, but I also am not great at pronouncing my own name. So tell me if I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Clavia? Is it Clavia? Please tell me. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. I want to do you justice. And if I've been pronouncing it wrong, I am terribly sorry. You have my permission to call me Stu Rat. I can't tell you how many emails I get from people. They misspell my name. It's S-T-U-R-A-T, Stu Rat. I know they don't mean anything by it. I take nothing personal. So I'm just saying, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. So please help me. Okay, Patty says video's back, sound is coming back. Okay, here we go. Oh, I nailed it. So it's Clavia with a long A, Clavia. Thank you so much. And I think I may have asked you this before. I'm sorry. I get embarrassed about this, but I figured I might as well be bold and find out. So, with my, thank you, Clavia. So, with my River Cruise group, the Whisper campaign, the first thing we do, and you could tell us to a group leader too, because there's a sequence. That's why it's called the group launch sequence. There's a sequence of events. Okay. And the first thing now is save the date. Okay. River Cruise of a Lifetime. April 2017. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm telling friends and family. Now, my mom, I told more details because I want mom to come and bring a friend. But generally speaking, even our inner circle of friends and family, I don't want to take this for granted. This is big. I'm putting money up here. This is not a group where I'm going to get my deposit back. I will sell every stateroom, or else I'm in deep caca. But I won't be, because I know I'm going to sell it out, because we're starting in advance. So it's save the date. That's the Whisper campaign. River Cruise of a Lifetime, April 2017. That's all I'm saying. And then the next part of the sequence is that we're going to invite people to an evening webinar. Or see, the thing is, I don't know. And let me ask you guys this. We all use the word webinar all day long. I don't know if the people out there know from webinar. I don't know if they know from teleseminar. That kind of sounds old-fashioned to me. So maybe it's a video conference. There's some people who've never used GoToWebinar before. So I know, some people are gonna, what do I do? What do I do? But I think GoToWebinar works fairly well. It's fairly dependable. What we're going to do a series of once a week, a series of evening meetings, online meetings. And so that first meeting is going to be largely about presenting River Cruise. I'm still not going to tell anything about the cruise itself. I'm certainly not talking prices. I don't want to give anybody a chance to say yes or no. Does that make sense? So that's going to be, but I'm going to lay out the full sequence for you. But leading up to that first, we're going to call it a webinar for now. Leading up to the first webinar, I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I need to find out what people don't know about river cruising. I want to find out their misconceptions, misperceptions, so that when I label this webinar, when I give it a name, it could be something like the top 10 things nobody knows about river cruising, or the top 10 things you need, because everybody does top 10, top 3, top 4, everything you need to know. If you put a number on it, and it's sort of finite, people know exactly what they're going to get, exactly what you're going to deliver, exactly what I'm going to deliver. So that first we have to sell them on the concept of river cruising. And I want you to take this and do it yourselves too for your river cruise group or any group, but particularly river cruising, because it's so different, it's so new. So let me check the box here. Okay, Janet said she had to go. See you next time. No problem. I get it. Remember, the rule here is come and go as you please. I respect that. I'm here for the whole hour. I will end at the top of the hour, but I respect your time and business you got to take care of. Lori said, if you're doing a series of meetings, is the intention to have the same people attend weekly, or are you presenting the same thing to different people? Great question. I'm going to read it again, everybody, from Lori. Thank you, Lori. If you're doing a series of meetings, is the intention to have the same people attend weekly, or are you presenting to the same thing to different people? So the question is yes and no. Our mission is to have that same core group of people come to every meeting, because as they go through the sequence, if they stop attending, I know they are not going to buy. They have no interest. Okay. But what's the no part, so the yes part of it is that we do want the same core group of people coming to every meeting. Maybe it's Tuesday night at 8 p.m. I don't know. We haven't set the time yet. But so the reason why I said no is because we need that core group of people to grow. So basically, a very, very key part of how I'm going to market this river cruise, that I can't just depend on my inner circle of friends and family. I need to depend on my inner circle of friends and family telling their inner circle of friends and family. So if this is my inner circle of friends and family right here, okay, everybody in that circle, they have their own friends and family, right? So we have here, so the whole idea, Lori, and everybody, is that the first meeting, I don't know, let's say I'm making up a number, we have 25 people. The next week, I want to have 35 people because I'm going to encourage and not just say, bring friends and family, but I'm going to make sure that I capitalize on the absolute joy of traveling with people you know. And extending the invitation, say, listen, if each of you who's on right now, if of course you want to travel with me and Kimberly, but if you want to reach out to your best friends or somebody in your family that have always dreamed of river cruising and you love traveling with them, it's open. You can bring them. So come to the next event. And I've recorded this one so they won't miss the first one and they'll catch the second one. And so they'll get to learn about river cruising on the first one. And on the second one, we're going to talk, we're going to dive a little deeper. We've got some big announcements, some special things to announce. We're actually going to announce the port by port itinerary, and we're going to tell you why we picked this itinerary. We're going to tell you why we picked it, what's there to see, why it's no miss, why it's amazing, extravagant. So I'm just saying I haven't laid that out just yet. But you take them through the sequence. You give them more and more and more. And every time, listen to this carefully, every time we do one of these sessions, I'm always giving them something to take home, something free, download. So in the first session, if we're going to say the top 10 things you never knew what a river cruise can do for you, something like that, I'm going to offer the free PDF. Download this, take it, and along the way, it's always going to be, okay, this is a one sheet on Rudesheim. The stuff that the brochures and everything else don't tell you about overnighting in Rudesheim, because in Rudesheim, we're going to be doing something very special, but I just can't tell you yet. Yeah, see, I'm going to keep stuff under covers, right? So as we get closer to launch, they have a whole stack of these mini one sheets on all the itineraries and the hidden stuff that they don't know that they would have missed without me and without my Sherry. It's Sherry Laskin Kennedy. I don't know if anybody knows her. She's going to be she's a professional blogger, and she's been to these cities so many times. So she's going to help lay out sort of a personal concierge extra bonus to the trip. So that's the deal. I hope I'm not getting too long and too deep here for you, but I want to share this with you. Okay, Lori Power says, so you're dripping the information out slowly. Absolutely. And you're dripping it out slowly. So here's the deal, and I've said this before and I'll say it a million times. The day you open up the shopping cart, if you will, let's just call it a shopping cart, when you went the big sale, right? Because you all know that, Black Friday is on Black Friday. It's not on Tuesday and it's not on Monday. So when you open up the shop, when you open up for sale, you're going to build up all the momentum, tremendous momentum, and you're going to have everybody pre-sold. So the day you open for sale, there's no open questions. There's no obstacles. There's no objections. You have answered everything beforehand. And if they're still in it, they're going to buy. If they dropped out, they're not going to buy. Because you all know as well as I do that the day you open for business, those couple of days, that's when you normally get your biggest rush. How hard is it to build up momentum after you've already opened for business? It's almost impossible. And that's the title of my article I just wrote for Agent at Home, Groups That Bomb. I'm going to put an end to Groups That Bomb because we have to realize that the promotions, the fourth P, product, price, place, promotion, the promotion, all four P's have to be done and perfect before you open for sale. You don't do the promotion after. It's too late. They will look at the price, look at the itinerary, which is just in black and white. They're going to say, no, we're not going to go. You got to have them pre-sold before you open up. I hope that makes sense. Lost audio again. I hope I'm back. Nancy's getting ready to send out her Cuba survey, which is great. Excellent for sharing that. I know you've been working on that. And she sent the link. I can't wait to see it. Thank you for sharing that. I want to check out the survey you did, Nancy. And she used a Survey Monkey, which is a great tool. I think it's free. Nancy said, based on my recommendation, Survey Monkey. Yep. Very cool. And And let me see, I'm going to read this here. We got 3 minutes left. So I'm going to stop at the top of the hour. I'll tell you when. If you can wait with me for 3 more minutes, that would be really, really cool. But I want to read what Nancy wrote, see if anybody else has any more questions or comments. This is what she wrote in her newsletter. Want to go to Cuba? Help me by filling out this 4-question survey on Cuba. Your input will be very valuable in determining the style and activities included in this eagerly anticipated adventure. Be a part of the excitement. Nancy, I think that's perfect because it's engaging. What you're doing is that their input's going to be very valuable. More power to you. It's awesome. It's fantastic. That's absolutely perfect. You want to get them engaged, and I'm going to go take a look at the survey. Hopefully, it's nice and short and easy to complete, so they feel like they're a part of it. And I'm going to do the survey too. I didn't mention that, but as part of I need to find out what they don't know about river cruising, the misconceptions, misperceptions that they have, so I can clear it out. So when I say, hey, listen, we got so many comments back, that wouldn't it be great? Let's get together. We're going to have an evening meeting, and I'm going to answer all your questions. So I'm going to tell you things you never even knew to ask. I will tell you things you never even knew to ask. Get them excited. First, sell them on the concept of river cruising, and then hone in on the itinerary and the things we're going to do and the activities so they are sold before we open up for sale. Okay. All right, we've got 2 minutes left here. I promise you we're going to stop at the top of the hour. Do we have any final questions, comments, suggestions? Has this been good? Do you like the Ask Stuart Hour? Is this working for you? Is it okay that I'm the only one talking, nobody else puts their mic on? Do you want more guests? No guests, just me? The next one is August 17th on Monday, probably be midday, just so you know. And I know I'm going to see some of you at who was it? Patty said you're coming to Cruise World, yeah. And then I'm speaking at these other conferences too, so hope to see you around town at other conferences. We got a minute left. Talk to me. Anybody else? Lori said it's working well and she doesn't have a mic. Okay, no problem. I get it. Jalal, she would like to see Jalal. I would like to see the guest as well. Okay, so we'll get more guests on the show. I'd like to have some private ones where it's just us boys and girls, and then bring a special guest in too. So I'm on the hunt for new guests, people I know, I respect, I trust, and I will only bring on the show people who I know are committed to helping you succeed, like me. It's really as simple as that. They've got to be as passionate to seeing you successful and helping you as I am. If they're not coming on the show. It's really that simple. Yes, Bruce from G Adventure. Somebody suggested Bruce from G Adventure. I don't know Bruce. So I was going to look into that, but hopefully to fit the format. All right, we are out of time. I want to thank everybody for being here on the Ask Stuart Hour. I wish you happy sales. Keep in touch by text, by voicemail, a phone, which is disconnected right now, or whatever. Call me. Let's keep in touch. I'm grateful that you're in boot camp, and I wish you happy sales. Bye, everybody.